Good morning, everyone. My name is Tim Stuart, and this is Mara Gervais, and we are the co-presidents of the SHINE Foundation. And welcome to the SHINE, I guess the 2025 DLG4 SHINE Research Conference. And I welcome everyone coming from distances, long distances, and we have people from around the world here today, and our community members as well as researchers. Thank you, everyone. I just wanted to review real quickly the schedule for today. We have 3 sessions essentially. This session is going to last until 11:30 a.m. and at which time we'll break for lunch. And then after lunch, we have a session beginning at 12:30 to 2:30, and then we'll break for a coffee break for, basically a half an hour, and we'll continue at 3 p.m. through 5:30, I believe. And then this evening, we have dinner at 6:30 through whenever. Also, for those families, as you know, we have a child care upstairs on the 2nd floor. But for siblings of SHINE kids who are here at the conference, we have a special activity this afternoon which has not been highly publicized. So if you have sibling members or highly functional SHINE kids from 1 to 4, we'll be gathering those kids for a little sibling conversations, and then a special event. We have a game truck coming in which is full of video games and VR opportunities, so that we can have a special entertain those kids later in the afternoon. But at this point, I'll turn it over to Mara.
So before we start, a tiny bit about the foundation. A Facebook support group was created for parents of children with the DLG4 variant only 6 years ago. And from that Facebook group, parents came together, and the idea and then the reality of the foundation was born. And the foundation is only 3.5 years old. It is entirely funded by grassroots community fundraising. The families are doing all the work on that front and a few grants here and there. And it is and has always been entirely formed of board members who are primary caregivers, essentially parents, of children with the disorder, and who all volunteer. And I've put the faces of the why for the current board members. This is our inspiration for volunteering. What we do, we've inspired in one way or another, recruited, encouraged, funded a dozen researchers. We've created resources for parents. We've created assets for research from blood draws, iPSCs, mice models. We've engaged with both industry and regulators. And as of now, as of today, we are holding an international conference. Who we are as a community, we're over 200 patients now, and we're growing exponentially. More and more parents enter the group weekly, which we didn't see in the beginning, so we're seeing diagnoses multiply. We're represented in over 31 countries and counting. People are here today from all over the US, from Canada, and even from France, England, and Sweden, which is amazing, and we thank everybody who came from far. And we have patients that we know of that are 2 years, and some have even been diagnosed before. And recently, a parent contacted us, and the patient is 59 years old. We want to thank the conference wouldn't happen without the support of sponsors. We hope that we thank them for their participation, and I think their help will hopefully make this a great event. But more than anything, our sincere gratitude goes to all the board members, past, present, and future, without whom I don't think any of this would be happening, the research and the conference. The families, the families who are here more than anything, the families who are here virtually, couldn't come but are engaging in real time, those who couldn't participate at all but who do in the support group, support each other, participate in registries, send us photos, testimonials for awareness, and help us fundraise. Our partners, a lot of them help us develop as a patient advocacy group. So people like Combined Brain and Simon Searchlight, who are here supporting us right now, but others like Citizen, Nord, the Rare Epilepsy Network, who kind of guide us through the work that we do. And last but not least, all the clinicians and researchers, especially those who came, for seeing us and seeing that though we are few patients and our kids are smiling and they light up every room and they're truly shining stars, our lives are hard and the disorder can be devastating, and it is worth, we are worth the hope for treatments to better their outcomes and our quality of lives. And with that, I will leave it to Sabrina Merchant, a very prized board member and mother of a SHINE child. Thank you.
I'm a little shorter than her, so, and both of them. So I'm Sabrina Merchant. I'm a mother to a 10-year-old son with DLG4 SHINE syndrome. You've probably met him around here. His name is Adnan. I also have a 6-year-old who's not affected by SHINE, but affected in the way that all of our siblings are affected. So really happy to be here to bring all of these researchers today that are just the kindest people you could ever meet, that really care about rare diseases and that really care about our kids. So please talk to them whenever you can. They're here for you. So I just wanted to generally kind of give you the agenda of the day so that you can understand how best to structure your day and get the most out of today. And first, I just want to say that, you know, everyone is here to talk to you about your children, whatever questions you might have, and no questions too stupid. Just ask whatever you need, whenever. The first part of the day, and this will be the morning presentation that you'll see here this morning, that you're going to have some presentations about genetics. The first presentation is done by a genetic counselor that's going to be just talking about general genetics, so you can kind of understand how to read your genetic report and how it might influence the rest of the day. The second speaker, Dr. Toomer, and she'll be, introduced by Dr. McKenzie, who will be our moderator. Dr. McKenzie is sitting right over here. He is a pediatrician from the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario who treats multiple DLG4 children there. And he's been incredibly helpful on our medical and scientific advisory board for several years. Dr. Toomer, who is sitting here, who will be speaking, one of the first speakers, is one of the very first people to understand that DLG4 was pathogenic, and this is the cause of our child's disorder. So you'll be hearing from her next, and really pay attention to that conversation because that will set up the rest of the day as well. Dr. Dye is a neurologist who specializes in developmental orders, particularly related to sleep. He's at Cincinnati Children's Hospital, and he'll be speaking remotely. And Katina Kalekos, kind of sitting at the back, she is from the Simon Searchlight Registry, and she'll be giving us a registry update. And then at the end, you'll have you'll have plenty of time for Q&A, so you can ask whatever questions you need. Next, I just wanted to kind of talk to you about your genetic report. If you have that around with you, I'm going to show you how to look at it and what parts of it will be relevant for the next section. So you can kind of bring it out whenever you can, and we'll kind of talk a little bit through that. And you're welcome to ask me questions whenever we go through that. All right. Okay, so this pointer doesn't work well. So this is my son's genetic report. He had it done at GeneDx, and the relevant portions you'll kind of see here are that DLG4 is the gene that's affected, and this is the variant, which is the change in the gene. And you won't be able, it's hard to understand what these numbers mean, but the C number is what you kind of want to look for. That's one of the things that we're looking at. and that tells you the change in the DNA or the base pairs. This would be on potentially the same page or a different page, but you want to look at the type of mutation, and he has an intronic mutation. So you'd be looking for words like intronic, nonsense, missense, and for splice site or intronic splice site, and frame shift. And there's a couple others, but those are one of the major ones. This number here, the NM number, now that tells you what's called the isoform, because there's two major ones. And when you're talking to one of the researchers, that's one of the things they might ask you. So please keep that in mind, because some of these numbers change based on that. And then there's a number here that tells you the location, and that could be an intron or an exon. You'll say one of those things. So that's something just to kind of look at and keep in mind. Uh-oh. Okay, are you able to advance the slide? Oh, there we go. Okay, and then after lunch, there'll be a second scientific session where they'll be talking about in vitro and in vivo models. And what that means, in vitro means outside of the body, and so these are kind of the stem cells, other type of models. In vivo means in the body, so that would be the animal models, essentially. So we'll have several speakers kind of talk about that. And the final session in session 3, that's when we'll be talking about emerging therapeutics. And I think this is why a lot of people are here, but the other sessions kind of are really critical to understanding the biology and then setting up the next steps. And so we have several speakers here that will be talking about all the emerging therapeutics, and this includes gene therapies and drug repurposing strategies, as well as new small molecules that are early and really exciting. And finally, I just wanted to say that all of this research is possible because families are involved. We're a rare disease, and I just want to echo what our co-president said earlier. The only way to move forward is a collective effort from patients and families. That's the only way research gets funded in such a rare disease. That's the only way researchers get interested. So just think about that as you kind of go along, as how you want, and you're at the beginning. You know, we're all at the beginning of this disorder. We're able to shape what happens in medicine. We're able to shape what happens in research, and that's a pretty powerful and impactful place to be in, but we do have to do it all together. And there is my email in case anyone has any questions or wants to ask me something, wants to connect with any of the researchers. You can email me directly. All right, thank you.